Seattle is one and done in terms of Super Bowls, or they've now started some sort of legacy with that defense?
Yeah, I think a budding dynasty. And again, it's hard to go back-to-back. So I want to make sure I'm not saying they're going to win, back-to-back Super Bowls, but they're going to be a contender for many years to come. And that's all you can really ask for in the NFL with the way that parity is in our game. But when you look at what Schneider and this football team has built, and when I think about teams that are dynasty-driven teams, typically they're defensive teams because we can talk about offenses all we want, but defenses ultimately, and we just saw it play out in the Super Bowl. And you saw the Patriots get there based on how good their defense was as well. So when I look at this team, they got a ton of money. They've hit on their picks. They'll have to replace Walker or keep him. I don't see them chasing massive amounts of money for a running back. They have Charbonnet. I know he's injured. He's coming off an injury, but they've kind of planned for it. They have a good offensive line. They got a good quarterback. They got the best receiver in the game or playing like the best receiver in the game. They have good additions on there. I know Shaheed will be up, but they have Kupp who could potentially come back. Good tight ends, and then they have a defense that is fantastic and young. And so, absolutely, I look at this like a dynasty. This to me does not look like a team that's going to fall off a shelf. They look like they're still in the ascending phase as a Super Bowl champion.
I didn't realize there was duck hunting in New York. Nice job with the duck hunting.
Hey, casual Friday. You know what I mean? I see some hoodies out here.
There we go. It ain't Friday. It ain't Friday, my brother, but that's okay. We'll forgive you. Here's the deal. We used to talk about the Patriots in this way, too. I'd like to remind everybody the Patriots went 10 years, 2004 to 2014, without winning the championship. And that was with Tom Brady as their quarterback and Bill Belichick as their coach. So, again, to me, dynasties talk shouldn't exist until you got a couple of chips. You don't have to have them back-to-back, but let's say like 2 and 3 years or something like that. I think we got to take that into consideration. Give Seattle a lot of credit, and Schneider, he did a lot of things right. This is his second, this is the second time in the Super Bowl. He's got a Super Bowl championship. Give him a lot of credit where credit is due. This is a man that moved on from Pete Carroll. He moved on from Russell Wilson. He moved on from DK Metcalf, and they all proved to be very valuable moves. When you look at Mike McDonald, this is a star as a head coach in the National Football League. Got to give him credit. We see Sam Darnold. We ain't missing Russell Wilson. Okay? You see in Jigba, you're not missing DK Metcalf, even though I got mad love for DK Metcalf and what he brings to the table. But in Jigba is something special. If you're the Seattle Seahawks, however, you have to re-sign some of these guys. Devon Witherspoon, you got to take care of that, brother. You got to extend him, Jeff. The same would go with Jackson Smith and Jigba. You got to extend him, too. You can't lose those two guys. And Kenneth Walker, even though Charbonnet is that dude and he can ball, make no mistake about it, you coming off a nasty knee injury, you know how that works out for running backs in most situations. So chances are they'll need Kenneth Walker, but he's a free agent and he's going to look to get paid as a Super Bowl MVP. And damn it, he should, because he's shown himself to be incredibly capable. Plus, he had a 1,000-yard season, rushing for averaging 4.6 yards a carry. So the brother can play. You got to take care of these cats. If that's not going to be the case, then you know what? We're looking at the Los Angeles Rams in all likelihood, to take the division crown and win the NFC personally. I think we got to look at things from that standpoint and entertain that possibility.
Listen, they got a great defense. They're going to be very competitive. They won 10 games last year, so they're going to be competitive. Right. But Stevie's right. If you're going to talk about a dynasty, you got to win 3 out of 4, like Mahomes.
I agree with that.
You got to win. The Patriots didn't win, but they were in the mix every year until later on. You got to win 3 out of 4. That's the definition of a dynasty. And the reason why I'm going to wonder about that, this is the wrong day to do it because he's been so good. They don't have a franchise, no doubt about it, Hall of Fame quarterback. And most of your teams that are dynasty-oriented, Mahomes, Brady, Bradshaw, Starback, Unitas won a couple. They have that Hall of Fame quarterback, and I'm not knocking Darnold. How could you knock him? He did a great job. He was efficient there on Sunday. He was wonderful against the Rams. Everybody loves the story. But if you talk about your prototypical Hall of Fame quarterback,
that's fair.
You're not thinking of him.
Right.
And you need a guy like that, to me, to talk about a dynasty like Mahomes.
Okay.
A dynasty type of team.
But let's go back because just you're a historian and much smarter than I am on that. Brady's Super Bowls in the beginning didn't start based on his excellence. It started because they had a defense. They won championships, and they were legit and contenders
100%.
every year because I played them defenses. And there are a whole bunch of Hall of Famers on that side that should be
with old rules, too.
Exactly.
But don't
them
forget
dudes
that.
could go. So they began the whole journey of a dynasty. That's why I said budding, right? Like it's not, and I want to use that. They put themselves in the position. $62 million on the cap, and the cap is going to go up as well. This team is positioned well. They're fourth in the league with money.
Okay.
And they got this team. Like, so the guys you're talking about, you got to pay, you can pay them clearly and lower your cap number. The biggest win for Schneider is Sam Darnold's contract. I mean, they got him on, he is playing at a very reasonable contract for a quarterback. And he's playing to that level. So as long as guys are playing to the level of their contract, it's not like they're paying him like a Hall of Famer. They're paying him in line with what his ability was, and they won the Super Bowl on it. That's why I like where they're positioned.
Well, a couple of things. They got their $62 million in effective cap space. That's sixth in the league. We know that. They got to address issues at the right guard spot, along at the center spot as well. So we know that in terms of their offensive line. You also got a number 2 receiver in Rashid Shaheed that you got to take care of. You got to make sure you resign him because not only is he a secondary option, a number 2 wide receiver, but he's also a Pro Bowl kick returner. So, again, the dual threat that he provides you can't ignore that. You got guys like Kobe Bryant, Rick Woolen.
Has your confidence wavered at all in Drake Maye due to his postseason performance?
No, it hasn't. But 2 things I'd say. Thank God Stafford won the MVP. Because it would have looked very bad if he won the MVP after Stafford played great in the NFC Championship game and he played as badly as he played in this game. Because he wasn't bad. He was a deer in the headlights. Let's call it like we see it. And I'm a Maye fan. And I know you like the North Carolina nonsense. He stunk. He stunk. And the number 2, I don't want to hear about injury. Because I heard all about this shoulder for a week. Well, I'm banged up. Here's about the old Jimmy Connors line, and I love it. If you're injured, don't play. If you play, you're not injured.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't want to hear a word about your injury. Not a peep. Please, when you threw that touchdown pass against Houston, that great pass in the right corner, nobody was talking about some shoulder.
He didn't say anything.
Yeah, he did after the game. He brought up the fact that was not, my shoulder hurts, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear a word. I don't want to hear it. Now, I'm
using
serious.
a tennis guy to talk about injuries in football. I love that, by the way.
Jimmy Connors,
yeah,
don't knock
yeah,
Jimmy.
I love that.
Him. But let's be honest, you can say anything you want. I mean, Stafford was Unitas.
Stafford was at home watching.
Oh, hold on now. Stafford, did you miss the NFC Championship
No, I watched
game?
Sam Darnold outduel him and go and send him home.
Barely. That was a 50-50 game. The kid dropped the punt. What are you talking about? You're nuts.
Drake Maye.
You're nuts.
Your confidence.
Maye, I still think will be. He's very good. I am a little worried about this performance. Marino played horrendously against San Francisco. We never saw him in the Super Bowl again. Keep that in mind. The second year for him. But I still think he's a very good quarterback.
Remember, this is the first franchise in the Patriots to start multiple rookie offensive linemen, right? So it's not like his protection was stout, right? Was at the level that he thought maybe it would be. Saturday, go ahead.
This is so bad that we're even asking this question. It is such a joke. You have a second-year quarterback, took his team to the Super Bowl. You have a rookie left guard and left tackle starting. I think that's the first time in NFL history they've done that. They played either 3 or 4 of the best defenses in the NFL over the season to get there, and they play the Seahawks with the number 1 defense, and they get outplayed. And Drake Maye did not play a great game. He missed reads. He didn't play well. Their offensive line didn't play well. Josh McDaniels didn't call a great game. Everybody was kind of behind. And a large part of that has to do with the Seattle Seahawks' physicality and them being able to dominate. So I'm not taking away from the Seahawks. They deserve it. They earned it. They did it. But to ask if anybody's shaken, this guy was number 2 in the MVP voting and deserved to be there and is in his first year with Josh McDaniels as all of them. And let me tell you the difference because Mad Dog brought it up. Matt Stafford has a decade plus of experiences to draw back on when he's playing that Seattle Seahawks defense. And he saw them for the 3rd time that season. And his first time playing them did he have a fantastic day?
No, they won.
He had an awful
but he
day.
wasn't great.
He's terrible.
And not terrible.
Okay, so you say it the same way you said it with your chest about Drake Maye. Okay. His second time was better, and his third time is better. So give him credit, right? Maye did not play well and isn't saying he played well. But to act like, and you're going to compare MVP, all this nonsense.
He got 23 votes, Jeff.
Listen, he balled and deserved the votes. He played well enough to be an MVP in his second year and the first year. He doesn't have the experience to draw from, and you heard the defensive backs talking about. He's playing like a young quarterback where he's hesitating. He wants to see it come open. I played with Peyton Manning, Hall of Famer. I played with Aaron Rodgers, and I will tell you this. At years 2, whether it's Tom Brady, whether it's all these different guys, he has put himself at least in a conversation of having a great second year, didn't win the Super Bowl, but he's there. At least he's in the conversation. No confidence lost. Absolute nonsense by Doggy.
You know, Jeff, America needs to be leery of people like you.
No, sir.
Because when somebody comes to you and says a question shouldn't be asked, the first thing that should come to your mind is ask the damn question.
Oh my word.
You can ask the question. Now let me tell you, I think I have immense confidence in Drake Maye moving forward. I think the brother can ball. He's got skills. And the Tom Brady era is clearly over. This dude is the future. We got that part. But first of all, you can ask the question. And secondly, Jeff, let's look at the question. The question wasn't, have you lost complete faith in Drake Maye? That wasn't the question. The question was, how much confidence do you have in him moving forward? Is it a little? Is it a lot? Is it none? That's all. There's nothing wrong with asking that question. And I'm going to tell you why. I believe in the kid. But religiously, we've pointed out how the New England Patriots had the weakest schedule since 1999. The postseason is when legacies are made, as they say. Well, Drake Maye in the postseason wasn't close to what he was in the regular season. The numbers are here. He completed 72% of his passes in the regular season. It dipped 14 points to 58 in the postseason. Yards per game dipped by 52 a game, from 259 to 207. 8 fumbles in 17 games. 7 in 4 playoff games. 3 fumbles lost in 17 games. 4 fumbles lost in the postseason. 11 turnovers in 17 games. 8 turnovers in 4 games. A passer rating of 113.5, which led the entire National Football League. And it dropped 30 points, 31 to be exact, to 82. Well, I mean, damn. There's a precipitous drop-off. And that's not all his fault. 2 rookie offensive linemen. All right. We don't like the way Josh McDaniel called the game in the Super Bowl. And by the way, let's not let Josh McDaniel off the hook. Do y'all understand that Josh McDaniel has been an offensive coordinator in New England for 14 years? This is his 3rd stint in New England. 14 years and you call a game like that.